Hi, it's Tiffany Lorraine Galloway, certified high performance coach with another episode of the Resilient Mother podcast. This month, we're going to be talking about being an overcomer. And as a mom, we overcome things all the time, hence resilience and the resilient mother. There's lots of versions of that today, too. And we're going to take a new angle. Today, I have Dr. Elefant-Yanni with me, who is going to talk about some psychology and some different things that we're facing. Before we got on, we were already getting into the digital world, the new things we face as moms, and I'm sure you want an expert to give you some advice on that as well. So Dr. Elefant-Yanni, thank you for being here and your effort to be here this morning after a move and a bunch of things you're also being resilient about. And please tell us a little bit more about you.
First, thank you, Tiffany, for inviting me on your podcast. And to know a little more about me is I had to travel with my family from countries to countries. So it gave me a better view and a better expertise of how people react to different stress. Okay. And the fact that we ignore most of the time that mother manage a lot of stress. Okay. Because every day we make it happen, okay? And whatever we have to fight, we did it, okay? We do it. So most of the time, we spend a lot of time taking care of our child, taking care of the house, and it's like we have 2 days in 1 day, not to say 3, okay? So we have to take care of ourselves because we are the pillar of the family. If we fall, the family fall, okay? So if you are overwhelmed by stress and a difficult situation, you have to work on yourself. You have to work on your well-being, and it's not selfishness, okay? It's the biggest altruism you can give to other people. You have to understand that when we are born, objects don't exist. The only thing important for us is social link. Okay, so your kids look to you, not to the gift you can give them. Okay, and whatever you feel, they feel. Okay, so if you are stressed, if you have a lot of negative thinking, if you are depressed, your kids know and feel it. Okay, and it touches them a lot. So the best thing you can do if you want to help your family and your kids is taking care of yourself. It's not selfishness, it's altruism. Okay, so remember this. Your duty is to be happy. And you have the right to be selfish, to be happy, because it's the biggest altruism you can offer to others. If you radiate negative vibes, okay, everyone around you is sad. If you radiate positive vibes, okay, everything feel it and it's better for everyone. Look at people who are in depression, okay? They are dark thinking and everything. Everyone flee, okay? Like they have the best microbes you can imagine, okay? No, you want to be a positive person. You want to feel good in your own skin. So you radiate something positive around you. For you, for your kids, for your partner. Okay? And the rest of the world even. But it's really the center of our world. Okay? Social relationship is really what we have mostly in our life. Okay. So about me. I choose family over career, okay? And I follow my family in different parts of the world. And I'm still happy with this choice. And it's still the choice I made, okay? And I still try to walk as best as I can. I still try to do podcasts, to get to know my own theory about how we function as human beings. Why is it important for me and how I am motivated to do it? It's because for years now I'm using this model. It's an easy model to understand by people, and I see it's make a difference in their life. So I'm really motivated to share it.
That's wonderful. I love that we as mothers tend to have this innate nature to want to nurture others and to help others.
Mhm.
It's just a part of who we are. And it's the beauty of being a woman is when we can use that intuition that we have, which we talked about last month on the podcast. But to go further than that, it's also to overcome these things, these challenges that we have in front of us. And connection, human connection, is a real struggle right now. We're more connected around the world than we've ever been before, which allows us to be here today. But
Yeah.
at the same time, it's not the same as if you and I were in the same room together. And it's not the same with our kids. They're struggling to communicate, to connect. I was just recently, I think I've already talked about this on the podcast once, but I was like in a worldwide online thing with a bunch of women and some personal development leaders. And the number one thing that was coming up is people didn't feel connected and that they were lonely in the world that we're living in today. And I thought it was interesting because it's like, well, you have a neighbor next door. How's your neighbor doing? Like, are you in your community? Are you doing something? We can't become isolated. We weren't meant to be islands, and we can't do that as mothers either. We do want to be focused on our home, but we're also creating the community around our kids. So what you're talking about, I think, really speaks to what mothers are struggling with today, because there's a lot of things we don't want our kids exposed to that are very easy to find online or out in the world. At the same time, we can't put them in a box. And
No,
limit them.
but you still have to consider the two levels, okay? Yourself and the world. And you know, there is something like I heard the world, like the world, what is happening in the world is hurting me. Okay, but you have to take the two levels separate, because if you and the world are confused, okay, you will never be happy, because the world will never be better, nor worse, nor better. Okay, and I want to say the world take care of itself. Okay?
Yes. You take care of the four walls of your home. That's your world. That's what you have control of. You don't have control of the things outside of that.
It doesn't mean you are not interested in what is happening in the world, but you have to, the control you have. Okay, if you try to think you can control the world, you get sick, because you are powerless, or almost. Okay, do what you can do. If you don't want to feel powerless, you have to try to use your power where it's really useful.
Yes.
Okay, and if you want to change the world, okay, or if you let the world affect you, okay, which is the same in a way, you will never be happy, because there will always be something terrible happening in the world. Okay, there is every day people killing other people. There is people dying everywhere. Okay, so yes, you cannot save the world, but you can save the small bubble around you. And if this bubble is fine, it will grow. It will grow. If everyone is growing a bubble, at the end, we have a big bubble of happiness. Okay?
Yeah. I love Mother Teresa saying that if you want to change the world, go home and love your family.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah. We can say also, I think one of the Dalai Lama say something like, if you want to change the world, begin by yourself. Okay.
Yeah.
Because there is also something. There is a three circular circles. Okay. The first one is yourself. If you want to be in a healthy relationship with your partner, first you have to be living well in your own skin. You have to be able to stay on your 2 feet, not needing a crush, or because if you need the other person, you become a burden, and this is not healthy. This is codependency. Okay, it's not love. Needing someone is not loving someone. Okay, so you have to stand on your 2 feet. Then you have the couple. Okay, what does it mean to be in a couple? As I say, codependency is not a healthy relationship. And if the couple is healthy, okay, then you have a functional family. Okay, but it's really the three circles. So you told me about I don't find my word. You know, a lot of mothers today take care of the children alone, but it doesn't change. It doesn't change the model, okay?
Yeah.
Because when you are one parent, okay, you still have a romantic life.
Yep.
Okay, so you still have to manage this life on side of your life as a mother.
Yes.
Okay, maybe it's different, but it's still something you have to manage. Okay,
Yep.
so now if your relationship are healthy or not, it's also have an impact on your family life with the relation with your children. If you have too much promiscuity, it's really not healthy. Okay,
Mm.
you understand that? Okay,
Yep.
most of the people do, but for some people, it's not so straightforward. Okay,
Yeah.
so you still have to manage your romantic life, not necessarily on side of your life as a mother, but in combination with your life as a mother. Okay,
Yeah.
because in any case, yes, it has an impact on your children.
Absolutely. I really tried hard to reduce the collateral damage of my kids and my divorce, but it was still there. And now I'm doing a lot of proactive things like counseling for my kids and just being aware of what I can do to help repair those things, or at least make them aware as individuals of these emotions that they're feeling and how to process them, and give them the strength to realize that it's their inner world. But then I also have to be the example of that and do my own healing and
Yes,
be the example, because if I'm not happy, how are they going to learn how to be happy? If I'm not pursuing my dreams,
absolutely,
how can you say
absolutely.
go pursue your dreams and I'm not pursuing mine? That
Yeah,
it so it,
exactly.
I think the trick has been, being a single mom, is the priorities. Like, I can't do everything and be everything all the time. And so I think it's funny when people talk about trying to balance it all. You really can't balance it all, but you can create harmony. And
Yeah,
harmony can have different parts. And sometimes the soprano is going to be louder, sometimes the alto is going to be louder, or sometimes the bass is going to be louder, but it's all still music. It can all still be beautiful, sometimes messy, sometimes out of tune, but we can get it back in tune. But it's always going and it's always flowing. And
yeah.
so I have three
But
kids. So one might need me, and then the other one might need me, and then the house needs to be caught up, or then I've got,
and you have to be very careful with guilt.
yeah.
Okay, guilt. Okay, like, oh, I feel guilt because I divorced and it has an impact on my children. Okay,
Mhm.
but you know what, sometimes the impact is positive. Okay,
Yes. They're
because
growing.
what will happen to children, okay, raised in a home where it's always yelling and maybe fighting? Okay, so no, maybe peaceful at home with mom is better.
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely. It's
yeah,
always what you can make of it. I really did this podcast because I wanted to create a positive community for moms, all moms, no matter what they're facing, to realize that your motherhood is sacred and it'll be whatever you can make of it. And as I go along, I do agree. Like, if you let shame or guilt get in the way, it kind of doesn't allow you to create that positivity that you're talking about, because the negative and the positive are before you every day, every
mm,
day. So you
mm,
got to choose the positive, because it's still there too. The
mhm,
world wants us
mhm.
to believe it's not there, but they're just not reporting on it.
Yeah, also I want to say shame and guilt, okay, they are education tools. Okay,
Yes.
you use shame and guilt to raise your kids so you can push them to social behavior, accepted social behavior. Okay,
Mm.
so they are tools education. As an adult, okay, you are expected to decide by yourself what you choose or
Mhm.
not be pushed by shame and guilt. Okay,
Yes.
when you have big manipulation event like the COVID situation,
Mhm.
recent COVID situation, you see how people were manipulated. Okay, get injected or you kill your grandparents. Mhm.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, or you know what? This is how you see the manipulation. When you feel the shame and guilt, always ask yourself, who is trying to manipulate me?
Yes. Oh, that's such a
Mhm,
good point.
mhm. So even when you read the news or hear the TV, ask yourself why I'm pushed to feel guilt and shame here.
Yeah.
Okay, if people call to your emotions, okay, ask yourself who is trying to manipulate me. Okay,
Yes.
since antiquity, okay, we know that we can use emotion to manipulate a result, how you think. Okay.
Mm.
Mhm.
And it's everywhere. It's in our marketing, it's in
Mhm,
so
mhm,
much, and so it's really
mhm.
important to also control what you're allowing in, because your mind can't tell the difference. If you watch something traumatic, you're still traumatizing your brain. If you allow your kids to be exposed to certain things, it's not good, even if you think it's just on a screen or it's just a game. It
The feeling is real. The feeling is real.
Yes.
So I want to say, the I told you before about the little book I wrote to
Yes.
explain my model and how you can help yourself. Okay, but I want to say a short word about the model.
Mhm.
The model is you live in two spaces. You
Mm.
have the feeling space and the thinking space.
Ah,
Okay. When you are born, your feeling space is completely functional, but you still have to develop your thinking space. Okay. And this feeling space, okay, is the reality, the real of your life. Okay. When you have a feeling, okay, whatever the situation, real or not, the feeling is real.
mm,
Okay. I don't speak about emotion here. I speak about feelings.
mm.
What you feel now, what you feel now, what you feel now. You have a new feeling every 250 milliseconds.
Wow.
And they are really the fabric of your life.
Huh.
Okay? Emotion is a great spend of energy, emotional energy.
Mm.
Okay? We cannot afford to spend so much energy any second of our life. Okay?
Yeah.
But okay? Feelings. And this ongoing monitoring process of feelings, okay, can tell you a lot of information. You know, most of the time, you have this unconscious monitoring feeling system, which give you information about the world. Okay, let's say, for example, you want to cross between two cars, and suddenly you jump back, but you don't know why, but you jump back. And at the same time, you realize a motorcycle is passing by.
Mm.
Okay? This is the monitoring process at work.
Mm.
And this is your feeling space. It's also the place of your life energy. Okay?
Mm.
So if you push down your feeling, maybe because you are very angry or sad, okay, what happened? You cut the bridge to your life energy. And time after time, you feel like a zombie,
Oh,
okay? Like a fraud.
the numb feeling.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. And one of the things we are using a lot today is numbing feelings of our children because they move too much.
What?
Okay. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a little
Okay.
one who's really, really busy, and I embrace it, but, some people don't know how to manage it. So
Yeah. So maybe you spend half an hour to the park every day so he can jump and
right?
run
Yep.
and when he's really tired, get back home. That's it. Okay.
Yeah. Well, and I
Children
found
are.
out that at his age in particular, he's having a bunch of testosterone as a male at that age. Like, it's
Mhm,
natural for him
mhm.
to have this extra energy that he needs to burn off. It's a biology thing. So,
Yeah.
something that's really helped me put things in perspective, that you're talking about is doing some research of my own and taking a class in child development,
Mhm,
because then I have a better understanding of where they're at developmentally and what's appropriate and what's not, and if they're ahead or they're a little behind somewhere. And that gives you a different perspective, and it's easier for you to not get into the emotion and putting the wrong energy on them, instead just being like, oh, I'm the adult here, they're the kid, they're the 5-year-old, they're allowed to be the 5-year-old. I'm
yeah.
not. I can't ask them to be an adult. So
Yes, exactly. But at the same time, you have to accept that from time to time, okay, it's too much. Okay?
yeah.
I need a break. Okay. I feel like I can stream through the window. Okay. Don't do it, but realize you would like to do it. Okay, which is not the same. And at that point, okay, take care of yourself.
Yes.
Because as I said before, if you break, everything breaks.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
With
This
everything
is the
that you're
point.
talking about, can you explain some tools and strategies that would help a mom be on the right vibration with her energy, starting with
Yes,
that
exactly,
world?
exactly. So as I say, we have this feeling space, affect space, and the thinking space. Okay, so the goal here is to find a way to get relaxed and to recenter on yourself. Okay, so I have what I call the well-being program, and the well-being program we have 4 tools. Okay, we have the 3 breathing. 3 breathing is something that is commonly used. It takes 1 minute and you can do it anywhere.
Nice.
Okay, so you breathe, inhale through the nose, feel your belly, feel your belly, feel your belly, hold it a few milliseconds, exhale through the nose again, flat your belly, flat your belly, flat your belly, hold it a few milliseconds, and 3 times like this. Okay. This, you don't need to believe any now present bullshit and anything. It's mechanical. Okay. When you are stressed, all your organs are constricted. Okay. When you are relaxed, all your organs expand. So when you make your belly big, okay, when you inhale as much as you can, you expand your organs, okay, and it sends the message to your brain that you are relaxed. So mechanical, okay, it tricks your brain.
Increased blood flow and increased oxygenation, which our cells need to function and communicate. So,
But the goal here is how to relax, before to go to a meeting or anything, you are a little stressed, breathe. Okay, fine, I'm good.
Yeah.
You have negative thinking coming to your head, like rumination. Okay, see them, do the 3 breathing, and do something else. Okay, simple thing. Okay, the second tool is small pleasure every day. Small pleasure every day is because satisfaction annihilates frustrations.
Nice.
Okay, so how can I do this? Okay, let's say, for example, you appreciate good coffee. So you take a cup of coffee as your small pleasure. It can change every day, but you decide a good coffee today will be my small pleasure. It's not question to drink your coffee. It's question to appreciate your coffee.
Yeah.
It's question to be present now.
In that moment. Yep.
Recenter. Okay, you are inside yourself, not in your head, lost in your head. Okay.
And it doesn't have to take a huge amount of time. I think some people, to treat yourself, they think they have to have a trip to the mall or a half an hour to like get out. But really, you can do it in a minute. You can do it, but if you got to be fully present for it, though. I like to
exactly. Yeah, maybe not a minute, but at least 15 minutes. Okay, take the time, appreciate. So we talk about a cup of coffee, but it could be, I don't know, maybe a call to a friend. Okay, but be present when you do it. Appreciate the fact that you are in communication with your friend. Okay, or it could be a few pages of a book, but be present with what you are doing.
Yeah, I like the idea of like calling it, well, I call one that I do called 5 minutes of joy. I allow myself to do something I enjoy. Like I love music and I love art or I love dancing, and I allow myself to at least have 5 minutes of that a day, because a really busy mom thinks they can't fit it in. So 5 minutes you can definitely fit in. And then if it turns into 10, if it turns into 15, you're still going to be better for it because you've taken that time to be fully present, as you're talking about, because that's the only way we can get centered and back in alignment with ourselves. And that's going to be unique to each individual. So some people it is going to be a cup of coffee. Some people it is going to be a book. Some people it's going to be outside. that's the beauty of it, though. You get to get curious and you get to explore and find out what works for you. And you also get to help your kids do that as well, because they see you doing that. They're going to go, oh, this helps me. This brings me back to center. This allows me to be in alignment with what I am, and also allows them to develop the voice to protect that and put boundaries around that. Mom, that works for me. Mom, that doesn't work for me. Mom, that works for you. And that's, I think that's really important, because they aren't little clones of us and they don't have to be our mini-me's.
Yeah, exactly. So, but you have to, as I said before, you have to be fine in your own skin. So you give them the model they have to follow.
Yes.
Okay. After they find their own way.
Yeah.
Okay? That's it. Okay. So this was the second tool. Both tools don't take much time. The next tool takes a little more time, but at least I think you can do it, for example, when you walk your dog or go outside with your children. Okay. It's half an hour in green nature. Okay. Green is really important for us. Okay. If you can go in the forest, for example, you know the forest is healing you. Okay. When you breathe, there is something special, what they call forest bath. You know, there is a Japanese book about it. And it's really scientifically proved that it's healing you. So it's really something we need. Even in the International Space Station, they had to have some plants because people need green. Okay, at that point. Okay, so I will say at least twice a week, half an hour. And when I say green walk, I don't say watching your phone. Okay, I say be present. Okay, at the same time, be present.
Yeah.
Watch around you. What is nice? This flower, this plant, the sky. This is nice. Okay. Okay. So this is the third tool. The last tool, and which is the most difficult, is 20-minute meditation every day. This is harder, okay? And meditation is hard. But I want to say it's really the best tool you can have, but it's homeopathic. That means it doesn't hold a long time. You have to do it every day. So it seems a lot, but when you begin and you see how much it can help you, you will want to continue.
Yes. Yeah. The first time I did it, I was really overwhelmed by my own thoughts. And I was how do I do this? How do I focus? And then I'm like, no, I need this. Now I can like release and I can find my peace. And like, but when you've had a life where you go, and you're just going all the time, like you completely lose touch.
Don't ask yourself anything. Just sit on your cushion, 20 minutes. Okay. I advise you can begin with guided meditation, but as soon as you understand how it's good for you to meditate, go to nature sound and then silence. Why? Because as I said before, we live in two spaces. Okay. Our feeling space has a good brain. Our thinking space has a head brain. Yes, we have two brains. Okay. Most people think we only have one here, but no, we have two brains. And the problem is they're not, when you cut the bridge to your feelings, okay, they're not working in synergy. So you have like an internal conflict inside you. When you, though, also something I have to explain. The feeling, the affect has a three-dimensional structure. One of this dimension is bodily activation, if you are well awake or sleepy. The second dimension is tension, if you are relaxed or stressed. And the third dimension is a proto-representation, which is a bodily belly feeling of well-being or malaise. Okay, so you have these three dimensions. So first you have this affect coming to you, which resume all the information coming to you from outside of inside as I say, the monitoring process, ongoing monitoring process. Okay, so it summarizes all the information coming to you in no time, which is a quantum mechanism. You have to understand this. We work in quantum. We have made of particles. Okay?
Yeah.
So yes, there is something in ourselves working in quantums. Okay, quantum physics. But this is the feeling space. Okay, working always in present time. And you have your head brains, which is in linear time. To make a sentence, you need linear time. Okay, the end word of a sentence can change the meaning of the sentence. So it's a linear process, and it's always past and future, but never present, because linear time, and until you get the end of the sentence, okay, you still have to wait.
Yeah.
So the thing is, if they don't work in synergy, if you want to cut the feeling because you don't want to see that you are angry, or you don't want to see that you are sad, okay, so you can, you numb the feeling, you push them down, okay, that means it's like you are cut in two. Not working in synergy, your brain don't work in synergy, it's really difficult to take a decision in this point. Because one says this, the other one says this, and I cannot choose.
And this is how we traumatize our kids when they're really little, and we don't help them with their big feelings.
Yeah. And also, how can you get motivation if you don't have energy? Motivation is energy, okay? There is something else. You have will. Will is in your head. You take a decision and you force yourself, okay? But motivation is of another nature. That means you have the energy to go for it.
Right.
Okay? So when you have this understanding of your functioning, okay, you see that if you work on your feelings, okay, this will change how you function, because you will have energy. You will have this flowing energy coming from your gut. And you have everything you need, okay? And this working in synergy, it will be easier to take a decision. And that means you don't need external validation. You get independent, psychologically independent, not only financially independent, okay? That means your own opinion is your opinion. You decide following your opinion. You can take information, but your opinion is what you choose, okay? Which is different. You don't need external validation. Okay? Right. This is really psychological independence. Okay, and this means I have self-confidence. I love myself enough. Okay, I'm not a fraud. I'm not a zombie. Okay, this is maturity.
How do we teach that to our kids? Besides being the example, because we got to do that work ourselves.
Yes, yes. But, most of the time we say children work with example. Okay, so first you have to get yourself psychologically independent. Okay, that means we come back to the same. Okay, work on yourself. Be the example you want to give them.
Yeah.
Okay, but at the same time, you can help them explaining how they function. Okay? I want to say, around 7 years old, you have a lot of children having nightmares about my parents die, death, because they just understand what death means. Okay? And if you tell your children, but we are all energy, so energy never disappears. We transform, but we never disappear. Suddenly, no nightmare anymore.
Huh. So simple.
Simple. Okay? And it's true. What you tell them is true. Okay? We are energy. We never disappear completely. Okay?
And we should be responsible for our energy. Like, I think one of my mentors taught me that I really loved was the idea of being conscious of the energy you're bringing into a situation, or into a conversation, or into a room. because you're responsible for that. And you can be either bringing light or darkness, depending on if you did the work before you entered that situation.
Yes, but this is the vibes we spoke about.
Yes.
Okay, if you come with a positive vibe, okay, or if you come in a negative vibe, I want to say the color inside is the color outside. For example, if you feel good in your skin, everyone is friendly.
Huh. Interesting.
Okay, the world is pink. But if you don't feel good, okay, the world is dark and threatening, and you see it. You can good mood. I go on the bus. Okay, oh, it's nice. Bad mood. Those people, they stink. They speak too much. Okay.
Yep.
Oh. So yes, the color inside is a color outside because it's a game of projection. Okay. How I feel is how I will give a color to the world. But as we say before in the beginning when we spoke together, okay, the world, okay, if the news you read, okay, give you only the bad news, because newspaper giving you good news doesn't bring money apparently. So most of the time it's also always the worst case scenario. Okay. And as our brain is always wanting to know what is the worst case scenario, okay, everything is bad, okay, and this has an influence on my mood, and my mood giving me bad things, also projecting on the world. It's become very difficult. So, as we said before, cut the TV, cut the radios, choose the program you want to watch and your children to watch, because today it's really important.
And you should even cut off your internet, especially at night. Like it should just be off altogether.
Yes, because on top of it, okay, you have also the physical radiation. Okay, it's not anodine. Okay, using a phone, using a Wi-Fi, it had an impact on your health. You have to know about it. You have to be aware about it. Okay, so junk food has an impact.
Oh yeah,
it's so delicious, but it has an impact. Okay, your phone, your Wi-Fi, same. Okay, so yes, you still need to use them in your daily life. We don't live in a hole on the earth or anything like this. Okay, we have to live in the world, but we have to be aware.
Yeah, that they're tools. They're not supposed to become a way of life. They're not supposed to become a part of us.
Yeah, and this is what is happening now. It's like the tools is put in the position to govern. Okay, because if you see the UN, what their goal today is a one world dictatorship with the AI taking care of governing. Okay, this is a nightmare. Okay, this is truly a nightmare, and most of the people, they are not aware of this, and because the news we get are not the news we need. It's the news that some people decide we can get.
So much of it is marketing, and they know our psychology. It's so important you know your own psychology, which is why we want to share this episode today, because I don't think everyone thinks about this enough, because we're not necessarily in developed countries worried about where the food's coming from, where shelter's coming from anymore. So it's a different battle. It's more for our mind and our hearts and our spirits, because our needs are met in a lot of ways, very conveniently, very easily. But we got to be careful, because if somebody's marketing something to us, I tell this to my kids all the time, if there's an advertisement for it, you probably don't need it, because I had to pay money to get it in front of you. If you need it, we'd already have it.
Yes, exactly. And the thing is, most of the time, what we see, what we hear, is to hide something else. Okay, and one of the goals of governing is divide to conquer. So, for example, we have some war recently. People are fighting about which group is the right one. No. It's just a way to create groups. So you fight between yourself about bullshit war, which were created from scratch, okay?
Yeah.
And taking care to get it alive so you can use it from time to time for the first newspaper page, okay? But ask yourself, okay, what are they hiding? Because when you are very busy taking care of this war, okay, they are taking decisions which will have a big impact on your life and you don't know about, okay? So some people knew about how the WHO organization wanted to have a health treaty, which will have mandatory vaccines and everything. So they were not able to have it at the EU organization, but they passed it at the UN organization with a tacit vote. Okay, it happened last week. So who knows about it?
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's not like you have the choice after that. Okay.
Yeah.
And the US agreed to it as 193 countries. So as I say, okay, you have to get your news from your own choose media.
Yeah.
You have to.
And it's seeking the truth, I think, is a huge thing today because it's so easy to be manipulative and deceitful online. AI is making that 10 times worse right now. And so it's going to be so important that people have this gut check and trust themselves with what is true, what is not true, what is there to serve me, and what's their agenda. And not in a way where we don't trust each other either, because that creates that divide too. But like, we're here to help each other. We have more in common than we do different. I strive very hard to make sure my kids are, kind of colorblind and that we love everyone and we are kind to everyone, even if we have different opinions, because in the end, we all would like to pursue our lives with our families and make them feel loved and have the freedom to be our full selves and not have someone come restrict it. And I think
but at the same time, you should not be naive. Okay.
Yes.
In the fact that most of people are good, but some of them are really not.
Well, it's a crime when good people do nothing. When good people
it is. But at the same time, you have to understand that when you are brainwashed, okay, you can be dangerous.
Yes.
And a crone brainwashed can be really dangerous. Okay. So we saw recently in the US how the fact that to be brainwashed can take you to do very bad things. Okay. And young people can be targeted because they are naive.
Yes. Well,
Okay?
and they really haven't fully developed their brains yet either. I don't think people realize, but your brain doesn't fully develop until you're like 21. And then we let people drink, which I think is really ironic.
Yeah, but the way you treat alcohol in the US and the way we treat alcohol in Europe is completely different.
Oh, I bet.
I remember when I live in Montreal, okay, when American people arrive, they can drink at 18. Okay, so they go to McGill University, for example, and they don't know how to drink. Okay, they get binge every time because they don't know their limits. Okay, in Europe, even if you are a baby, you can taste wine in the glass of your parents. Okay, so time after time, you learn how to drink. Okay, it doesn't mean you drink. Okay, but there is a culture about alcohol. It's not black and white.
Yeah. And look how different that is. And there's no right or no wrong here. It's just different ways that cultures choose.
And this difference of culture can be very interesting when you have an international couple. Okay.
Yeah.
Recently, I had a couple. One is from France, from Asian origin, and she is from England, but from Ireland origin. And what she knows about drinking is binge. Okay, and when he's going out with friends, she's very worried about him, but he doesn't drink like this. But it's what she knows. So going
Right.
with friends for her means, oh, he will go to drink too much, and no, it's not. Okay, so when they discuss, because I push them to see the difference of expectation. Okay, when they discuss between them, they say, oh, it's okay, so I don't have to worry about it. Yeah, you don't.
And see, that's something that was just made up from feelings and from culture and
Yes,
from what was
exactly, exactly. It's how you have expectation, okay? And if you speak, if you have a good communication, you can speak about it. So people can, okay, I'm reassured about it. So yes, you can go with your friend, okay? It's not like I have to go and take you from the street because you fall drunk, okay?
Speaking of expectations, something we talked about before we got on that I think is really important and I really loved that we got on was kind of around expectations, but how today we're consuming things that aren't real. And you were talking about how young girls used to want to look like the girls in the magazines, not realistic. They're altered. Well, now we've got AI, we've got other things in front of them that it's just not achievable. It's not real. We have this obsession with something that isn't even possible, but people are getting addicted and consumed to it. So how do we keep our kids from getting pulled into, I guess people are calling it the matrix of things?
Yeah, but in fact, I think it's really interesting because even now, okay, even without AI, we have a matrix. The matrix is what you are allowed to see, what you are allowed to hear, okay? What we decide to put in the news, on TV, okay? What the model we give you through a TV show. So the matrix is already here. The matrix can be moved, okay? Because we can give some algorithm to the AI, and we tell the AI, okay, this is good, this is not, okay? So yes, we can manipulate the matrix this way. So the best way to protect yourself is at least to be aware. So, just a parallel. With AIDS, okay, we had to speak with our children because even the first time can be lethal. Okay, so we had to explain to them, so sex is this and you have to protect yourself.
Right.
Okay, so same thing here. With screen, with media, you have to speak with your children and say, yes, you can have information, can be useful, but at the same time, it can be manipulating you. So you have to be careful. You have to speak of the matrix because it's the reality of the world we are living in. And children cannot see it because they see only what they have in front of them.
Well, no, it require their brain too. Like, and if they're aware of that, they might get more like aware of, wait, I need to fight for this myself, for my mind. But if they don't know, they're just consuming, not knowing they're being manipulated, and then that there's an agenda behind it.
Yes, exactly. And you know, as I said before, you should not be naive. Okay. Yes, it's good to say to your children colorblind and everything. You should not even be. It should not even be necessary to speak about this kind of thing. Okay.
Right.
But there is some other things that we have to speak to our children. For example, we know today that there are some predators hunting children. Okay, so yes, we have to speak about it to our children.
Yeah, and younger than we think.
Too. Yes, exactly. Okay, there is something we have to tell them, like no, you don't go on a car with a stranger. No, you don't give the hand to a stranger. If somebody take you, you yell, you fight. Okay, we have to speak to them because this is the reality of the children today. Not making them afraid, but letting them. Yes, most of the people are kind, but from time to time there is a very bad person. Okay,
Yes.
and this exists. Okay, so something, nobody touch your private part. Okay, think like this. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I make sure my kids know exactly what their private parts are called. It bugs my little girls a little bit, but I'm like, "You don't understand. If you don't know the language, that can be manipulated and used." And so I'm probably a little more proactive that way than some parents, but I was molested twice at age 5, and it was because I hadn't been taught anything yet. And then I went to kindergarten, and then they taught me, and I bawled my eyes out because it had already
Mhm,
happened to
mhm,
me, and
mhm,
I
mhm.
had no way to have known any different because I
Yes,
hadn't learned yet.
exactly. So exactly as you didn't know what happened to you because nobody told you about, okay?
Nope.
For the media, okay, your brain can be hacked, okay? So you have to speak with your children, explaining what that means. What does it mean to be brainwashed?
Yeah.
Because we spoke about predators on children, okay?
Mm.
But yes, predators are on the on internet,
And they
okay?
groom people. That's the thing. It's not like you automatically know, "Oh, that's a predator." They're really a wolf
Yes,
in
yes,
sheep's clothing
yes.
in a lot of ways because they're usually people who the child knows. It's usually always somebody that the child knows or has asked for special time alone with your kid because your
Mhm,
kid is
mhm,
special. They convince you that they're safe.
mhm,
I know I had a church leader who tried to take my bra off at my friend's best friend's house growing up. And when I told people what happened, they didn't believe me. But like years later, it all came out who he really was. And it just nobody would believe it. So they're like, oh no, that's they're a leader in the church, like
yeah,
that's a nice
yeah,
guy.
but
Like,
yeah, but as I said before, if you don't speak with your children, you place them in dangerous path.
yep.
Okay, but it's not so easy for some people to speak, let's say, about sexuality with children.
Well, we want to
Okay?
believe they can be naive and
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
that
And innocent angel. Okay.
figure it out.
Mm,
It
mm.
doesn't work that way anymore. It used to be beautiful when people didn't know about it and got to just learn about it together, but today it's everywhere.
Yes, yes, and it's better you speak with them instead that they speak with their friends at school, where
Yes.
they say a lot of stupid things. Okay,
Well,
because nobody want to tell them the
well, and
right
besides
things.
sexual stuff I knew about. Like, I knew to talk to my kids young about that. The one that surprised me was suicide and suicidal ideation and depression and self-harm. I was shocked. I didn't know about any of that till I was probably 16, 17 years old, but my kids got exposed to it like 8 or 9, and
Yeah, yeah.
it was not good because I didn't get to put the filter on it before they got exposed to it from a different point of view, and there were real consequences for that, and so I think there's a lot of important things that we have a responsibility as parents today to teach younger
Yeah.
than we think.
One of the most important thing is be aware of the quality of the communication with your children.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, because we spoke before about functional family. Okay, functional family most of the time is, yes, communication is easy in every direction. Okay, and that means also we eat together.
Mhm.
One of the main time we have to exchange. Okay, but I want to say, very surprisingly, okay, today we see suicide with children of 7 years old.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Yeah.
and this is absolutely shocking, how a small one can get so desperate. Okay, and also one thing, children doesn't really know what death mean. Okay, they
Mm.
have an idea, but it's not real in a way. Okay, some children say, oh, I kill myself, and the day after I go to my friend for a play date.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you have to know that they're desperate. They want to end the desperation. Okay,
Yeah. It's
but
usually a strong emotion that
yeah,
starts
exactly,
that.
exactly. Okay,
What
so
crazy is
if they
people
have
put shame
someone to
around it.
speak, if they have someone to speak, someone they trust, okay,
Yes.
it could be enough. Okay,
Yes.
and this person has to be able to speak about feelings. not only rules and representation.
Well,
Okay?
and not just the comfortable feelings, like be able to sit with the dark feelings, because that's part of being human.
Yeah,
Everyone's gonna have a dark period of their life. It's sad kids are feeling it younger than we would
yeah.
like.
But when we are sad, okay, we speak with friends, okay,
Yeah.
and it gets better, okay.
Mhm.
Uh, you know, like speaking with your hairdresser, speaking with your priest, speaking with a psychologist, okay, it's a way to put out what is hurting you inside.
Yes, absolutely.
So one of the things I want to say is just being able to say loudly, I'm sad or I'm angry is good. Okay?
Yes.
Because you tell yourself what you feel. The feeling part of yourself has no words, but your thinking part has words. Okay? And
Mm.
if you speak loudly, it's like one part of yourself is speaking with the other.
Oh,
It's
wow.
already better than conflict, internal conflict. Okay? But
Interesting.
it's also a way to put out. What happens when we speak with a psychologist? Okay? Putting in words is putting out.
Mm.
What can manipulate you from inside is what you don't say.
Mm.
Okay?
Wow.
It has a lot of power without word. If you put it in words, a lot of the power fall out.
So the
Okay?
worst thing we could do to a kid is to say, "Be quiet, stop it," instead of, "What is this emotion? What are you?"
Recently, I heard one of the helper at the school say to the children, uh, "If you are sad, you don't need to speak about."
But what?
Okay, it's like ignore it. No, you can't.
No,
This is
it'll
the
come out
worst thing
later.
you can do.
You cannot bottle it. I grew up um, with parents who I don't know. It was children were seen and not heard kind of mentality, kind of thing, and so they just didn't deal with negative emotions very well. So I still find myself, if I cry, I have to give myself permission to cry because I was told don't cry a lot growing up, or be quiet, or stop that, or you're acting crazy, or and it still affects me. Like I'm aware of it now. I've done a lot of work, but I'm still amazed that something from like years ago with my parents is so ingrained in me that it still affects me today.
Yeah, exactly. So it's really important to be able to speak openly what you feel, not only what you think, but what you feel. Okay?
Yeah, and I think allowing any outlet for that too. Journaling, I have kids who do artwork, and their artwork's a little dark, gets a little Tim Burton, but it's their way of getting it out, and music, and any modality they can find that's healthy, I want them to embrace, because if you don't find a healthy way of getting it out, that's where addiction comes in. That's where then you can find negative pathways that instead you can get caught in, I think, because it's any addiction or any negative behavior is trying to meet a need. And so you can't just say, just stop. You
Yeah,
have
but
to replace
you
it with something.
as we say before, codependency, okay, is also a road for addiction. Okay, is
Mm.
how to get numb with your feeling.
Oh.
Okay, how not to take responsibility for yourself.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, that's it right there, isn't it?
Okay, so how you can deal with this? Okay, you have to take care of your well-being, put yourself on the path I told about psychologically independent.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
loving yourself, feeling good in your own skin. Okay, you have a continuum between well-being and malaise, between frustration, what we can say satisfaction and frustration. So you have your compass, and you can know where you are on this diagram. Okay, and if you see you are not feeling good, work on yourself. So
Yes.
I say before, I have this small booklet where you can find the well-being program,
So it's going
and
across the bottom.
yeah, and it's explain the model, how you function, but it also tells you how you can work on yourself, which tool you can use, and what does it mean to use this tool? What does it change in yourself? Okay, so the guide is called 3D Human Therapy, a user guide to who you are. So it's really about you and how you function and how you can take responsibility for your own health.
It sounds like the ability to overcome anything by just being your true self as well. Yeah.
It can change your life in the right direction. And the goal, if we can change the life of a big number of people, okay, the good vibes will be everywhere. It will be, you can change the planet. Yeah,
Yes,
from
yes.
working on yourself, you can change the planet. But
Yep.
first, you have to work on yourself. Okay.
Absolutely.
This is not the leftist way of changing the world, but this is the writing way to change the world. Okay, begin with yourself. Like
Yes.
on a plane, if you want to save your children, first, please put your mask on. Not okay.
Well, thank you so much for joining me. I love this conversation, and to have like your expertise on the psychology of it, it really gave me some insight I hadn't thought about before. And I hope that served our audience today. I hope you took away a tidbit or an idea that you can implement in your home and with yourself so you can change the world one person at a time.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay.
People want to do more than the book and they want to work with you, where can they find you?
So you can go on our website, www.psychologyexpertsinoneword.online. Okay, so on the website you find the little booklet that you can download for free, and you can find some articles, linked to other interesting paths. Okay, so I encourage you to go at least to get the free booklet, okay? Because this is how you take responsibility for your own health, how you can help yourself and understand how you function, okay? The basis is at least to understand how you function.
Thank you so much. All right, audience, I believe in you, believe in yourself. God bless, and we'll see you on the next episode of the Resilient Mother Podcast.
Thank you, Tiffany, and enjoy life.
Yes.